Hello, welcome back to Chat Time with Sonya. Today is story time. Today's topic is, are you a side piece? Like, that's the story time. I'm going to talk about being a side piece. Don't judge me. Don't hold this against me. It is what it is, okay? Now, before we get into it, y'all, and have some fun with this little story time, hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Also, turn on your notifications so you don't miss a video whenever I post. I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Um, let's just get into it, why don't we? Well, oh my God, I was just sitting down thinking, right? And I'm like, I must have been crazy. Like, I remember, okay, I was the side piece. I was the side piece, okay? And I owned up to that. Like, I knew that. Did I know it from the beginning? I think I did. Yeah, I did. So let me explain to y'all how this all happened. Okay, so I was only, I was 20 years old, right? 20 years old. I was living in Miami. I was working at the Miami International Airport. Me and my best friend, we both went, we got the job together. She helped me got the job through somebody she knew, right? So, oh my God, this is like, I feel like I'm going down memory lane. This is so funny. But anyway, right? My first day there, I kind of was, you know how you got the jitters, like you're nervous when you get the job. You think you're going to mess up or make a mistake and you're going to get fired or something going to happen, right? So my first day, I was feeling like that. And I guess I got comfortable and everything became good when I went to lunch. Was this? I think this was the second day. I'm sorry. This was the second day of work. So I went in, and the second day, like I went early or whatever, right? So they give you breakfast in the cafeteria if you want breakfast. So I went in the cafeteria. Usually you pay for it, right? Okay. So my boss, he was in the cafeteria, and he was like, I got you. So I was like, you sure? He said, yeah, I got you. What you want? What you gonna have? So I picked out the little items and things I was eating that morning, or whatever the case may be. I think I had a salad. I think I had a salad for breakfast. I don't eat bread like they have those little, I don't eat bread and things. So the things they make for morning breakfast and stuff, I didn't have. I didn't eat that. Um, so he paid for my little breakfast and everything. I went and sat down alone to eat my breakfast. So he left. He came back inside of the cafeteria and he was like, come sit with me. Come and sit with me and have breakfast. And I'm feeling weird, like, this is my boss. This is my boss. Like, I was scared. So anyway, I was nervous. I was scared. I was feeling like, is this the right thing to do? You know? So I listened. I followed him and I went with him to go have my breakfast. And we sat in his office to eat our breakfast. And we was just sitting down talking. We was just, he never stated he had a woman or a wife or whatever the case may be. All along, though, his ring was on his finger. Like later, when I started asking myself, like, is he married? I looked on his hand. He had his ring on his finger. So, like I say, don't judge me, y'all. I was probably 20 years old. At this point in my life, let me also say, I did not have a relationship with God. So there was no right and wrong, in my life going on at that time. Like I knew God, but I didn't have a relationship with God to where like, this is wrong. Don't do this. God's gonna, I didn't have that going on. So whatever I did, it is what it was. It was what it was. Um, so I probably was a bad girl, when it came to that. I ended up finding out, yes, this man is married. He have a wife. Um, I found that out before we even got intimate with each other, right? So after our little breakfast, right, um, everything went smooth. He didn't pass on me. He didn't, make me feel like we just had a mutual conversation. He was just talking to me, asking me questions, about my last jobs and stuff or whatever, about people. I told him my best friend worked here. Like, I was just talking to him like I'm talking to y'all, or just talking to anyone, just talking to him about my best friend. She works here. She helped me got the job, blah, 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 blah. That kind of stuff. So, after that day, after our breakfast was over, I have to go to work. So I left and went to work or whatever. He left everything just the way it was. So we were very mutual people. He's still my boss, his, whatever, employee, right? So later that day for lunch, we also go back, we go to the cafeteria. So I went to the cafeteria to get my food or whatever. You're supposed to pay for it, right? So I didn't have to pay because he walked up to the front and he told them, he was like, I'm paying for her. So he already paid for my lunch, right? So I sat down and ate my lunch in the cafeteria. He didn't come back to get me to ask me to eat lunch. And I think that's because his we had two bosses at that time, and they both would eat their lunch in the office. So I think since the boss was in there with him, he didn't call me, since it's whatever, he didn't call me in there with him to have lunch. So I sat down in the cafeteria and ate my lunch. Me and my best friend, we worked together, but we would sometime come to work on different days. Sometimes we work the same days. And of course, if we did, we worked different concourses or whatever. At the first time, we started working in the same concourse. And then later, they put us in different concourses or whatever. But we never had lunch together. We never had lunch together. So, y'all, listen. I'm at work, like I'm working. Would you believe that he called up to the concourse where I was working at and told them he needed me down to the office, right? So I'm thinking like, he need me in the office. Oh God, I'm in trouble. What I did. I'm thinking everything that I could have done or whatever, right? So before I get down there, he said, oh, I just want you to clean the office for me. He said, I want you to clean the office for me. So at this point, I'm realizing he liked me. He liked me, right? So, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm good with that. I love what I was doing while I was upstairs at work. Like, I love what I do or whatever. It's just getting the people their food or whatever the case may be or whatever. But so I cleaned his office real nice. It's just a desk. I didn't have to sweep or nothing like that. I just cleared off the desk, which it wasn't crappy or messy anyway. So I just cleared off the desk, made it nice and clean, redid it or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, thank you. So, what's your number?" So I said, "I can't give you my number." And he was like, "Yes, you can." He said, "If I wanted, I could get it. I'm just asking you for it." I say, "Well, okay." So I gave him my number, right? After I gave him my number, um, after I finished cleaning the office for him, because the boss that working there with him walked in there while we're sitting in there, but he's sitting on that side of his side of the desk. I'm sitting on the opposite side of the desk, and I'm just sitting there talking to him. So I spoke or whatever the case may be when the other boss came in, and he was like, "Yeah, she just in here cleaning the office for me or whatever." So the other boss had walked back out or whatever, right? So after that, I was like, all right, I could go back. So he was done. We was done chatting or whatever the case may be. I went back upstairs to my little concourse to go finish work. And at the end of the day, before I could leave to go to work, he called my phone and he was like, did I have a cell phone? Oh God, I can't remember if I had a beeper or a cell phone or what was going on at that time, like I was at. Anyway, he called me and he was like, I want you to come. Okay, no, I'm wrong. I left and went home. I left and went home. So he called me. And by the time I made it home, because he was still at the office, he said, come up here and chill with me, right? So I'm like, Okay. So I go chill with him at the airport or whatever, and I'm thinking I didn't know what to think. Anyway, I just went. I did what he said. You know, you got to pay for parking in the airport. Um, if you parking in the airport, because I didn't park where the employees were parked because we got a decal on our car where we parked. But I went because not to mention that's further, and then you gotta wait till the employee bus come and get on that. But instead of doing that, he told me to park in the thing, and he'll take care of the ticket or thing or whatever. I won't have to pay. So anyway, that's what I did. And I went to the office where he is, and um, on this day, y'all don't judge me. Oh God. So we had sex. We had sex in the office. Like my boss. We had sex in the office on top of that table that I cleaned. I said I was 20. Oh God. I'm so serious. Oh God. So listen, this gets juicy. Let me explain to y'all. Okay. I had a boyfriend at home. I had a boyfriend at home. So at this point, and the reason I would say I did that because the guy that I had at home at the time, he's an older man than myself. Like we were 11 years apart, and he always cheated on me. He cheated on me so much till I guess at that point in life, like I was already like trying to date out. I never left, but I was dating outside of that relationship, trying to see if I could find something better, right? So anyway, can't find him better because he married too. Anyway, um, we had sex. We had sex. We had sex that day, and then um, when I would come to work, he would call me downstairs to the office, and I'm like, I can't come now. And we actually would have sex on our lunch break. We started having sex on our lunch break, and I'm just afraid that like somebody gonna come in. He like, no, I got the door locked. What? It was crazy. It was wild. It was crazy. It was fun. It was all that. But anyway, every day on our lunch break we would have sex. Every day after work, like instead of me leaving now to go home, when everyone's gone, I would no, I would go home. I would go home because that's when I know it's finna go. Once getting ready to go down, so I would go home, shower, clean up and stuff, and go back to the airport. Um, I would go back to the airport, and it just was easy to do because the man that I live with at home is paying me no attention, and he never home because he always out cheating. Right? So let me explain this to y'all. Right? So one day, I went to the doctor, of course, like I was sick. I don't know. I was kind of sick or whatever the case may be. Anyway, found out I'm pregnant. Other than that, I found out I had an STD. Okay? So, I'm thinking this guy that I'm messing with has it because I'm messing with him outside of my relationship, right? That was the only person. So I went on to ask him. I asked him about it, and he say, "Okay, I'll get checked or whatever." Now, mind you, at that point in time in my life, I wasn't thinking I'm messing around with you. You're messing around with me. What if your wife is messing around with somebody else? I didn't think that my boyfriend is messing around. Like all this is too big. It's too much. So I talked to him about it. He was like, okay, I'll get checked. The next time I talked to him, I don't know if it was true, but he said he got checked and he said it wasn't him, right? I said, you sure? He said, yes. So I go home, okay? I go home and I talk to my mister about it, and I'm like, I want to talk to you about something. And he like, what? What's up? I say, the doctor said I have a STD, which was chlamydia, and the doctor said I had chlamydia, and I said, are you having sex with somebody else? And he was like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, you need to get tested. So anyway, she gave me some pills or whatever, and I told him he need to come to the doctor so he can get that pill or whatever the case may be. Because they gave me two little tiny little white pills, and she was like, it'll disappear. Um, so I think he went to like a drugstore or whatever and got something else for it. Anyway, um, that just was crazy. Like, you got to be careful. It's one thing to be someone's side chick. It's another thing to catch something from someone being someone's side chick or side bitch or side piece or side whatever you supposed to be in it. Be careful. Be careful out here. And that was in the 90s. Okay, that was in the 90s. All right. Now we're is nasty out here. Like, it's crazy. So you really got to be careful. But I'm just saying, I wanted to share my story and with you all because y'all my peeps, and so you all can get to know who I am and things about me. But I felt like having story time, and I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm just saying, don't judge me on it. But I will say at that time and point in my life, I had so much fun. So it really didn't matter to me. I cared nothing about anything other than that STD serious. Um, and after that, I think I started taking things a little more serious in life. And after that, I ended up getting saved and things. And, I started having a relationship with God. So all of those things became my past. Like that, when that happened, whether it was my boyfriend that gave me the STD or him that gave it to me, I broke that off because I don't know if you went to the doctor or not. I know you're telling me that. Not to mention, you won't have the opportunity to give me anything else. Um, Now, my boyfriend, on the other hand, our relationship kind of got rocky. After that, it started getting rocky, especially after I got a relationship with God. It got very rocky. So be it. Thank God. Thank God. But yeah. Take things more serious. And if you're young, you know, be careful out here. Be careful. I know it's fun when you're having fun. When you're having fun sex. Trust me, I know. Um, be careful. That's all I can say. Use protection. Um, don't be nobody's side piece. You should be a number one. To take on that role, it's a lot. It's a lot because it was draining. I had two whole relationships, like, and then it was times like I'm trying to me and him after work. We'll leave and go to a hotel and stuff or whatever. Sometimes, like, I had a whole relationship with this man, a whole relationship, like. And then when we broke it off, like, it was very mutual breaking. Even after then, we actually spoke had a phone conversation and spoke, and he was doing great in life and things. And I heard he was treating his wife better. I asked about those things because I cared. Um, and that's it, y'all. I just wanted to share my story with y'all. That's it. Thank y'all so much for watching. Watch some of my other videos, y'all. There's some great topics that I talk about all the time. By the way, check out Toxic Relationships Part 1 and Toxic Relationships Part 2. They're very, very interesting. And there's just a lot of videos based on relationships that I talk about. Some are emotional, some are kind of funny to me. Some serious. But take this as a learning experience. You know, when someone tell you something, take it as a learning experience. Don't just throw it off like, oh, she talked about it. Oh, that was her. No, that could also be you. And if I didn't go and get checked soon enough, like I said, I was pregnant. My baby could have been born blind. I was told by the doctors. So that's what I'm trying to say. Take things that people tell you as a learning experience. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate every last one of you, and I truly, truly read all of your messages. Leave in the comments a topic that you would like for me to do, and I'll gladly do it. Thank y'all. See y'all next time. Don't forget, if you see someone without a smile, let them borrow yours. Love y'all.